All right, hello there, friends and followers. So I'm about to try and repair a sprinkler control valve here, which has a short. So you might ask then, how do you know the valve is a short? Well, you want to check the primary of the electromagnetic with an ohm meter. So I did pick up a new Rainbird valve assembly and I took it apart. So here's the new Rainbird, and what I want to do is take the top of this and the diaphragm and insert that onto the old body here. So I just want to pull all these screws out of that body, take this one out. But anyway, how do I know it's bad? Well, I ohmed out the coil and it didn't look good. So let me show you what I mean. Here's the wires here for the coil that go to the electromagnet that pulls up the diaphragm to allow water flow. So you want to take an ohm meter, so some type of a volt ohm meter. You can buy these meters at auto repair shops, not one this nice, but you can buy them for like 15 bucks that have an ohm scale. Anyway, you just want to check across the windings here with the meter. I'm trying to get the meter where you can see it. OL means open load, nothing there. If you cross these two leads, it should go to zero almost. There, so it says 0.2 ohms. Now, you want to find the leads from the solenoid, and here they are. Right here. Put the meter across these, and I remember from a couple days ago, it goes to 0.4 ohms. That's shorted. It should go like to 40 ohms or something, so this thing's bad. Well, okay, here's the new one. And let's see what the ohms on the good one say. The new one says 41 ohms. So you should get 41 ohms from your solenoid if it's working right. So we're going to replace that. So let's get to it. So I've turned off the water supply to this system, and I'll probably get some backflow coming down the hill. But let's see how it goes. So just going to start taking these out and see what we have. I'm hoping to reuse this bottom part because it would be one heck of a lot of work to take this thing out. I don't want to tear up the dirt and be sawing in the plastic pipes. Obviously this was put in when the house was getting built in 2010 or so. It would have been 12 years ago or even longer. I'm glad though that Rainbird has the same valve, and let's see how this goes. So hopefully this valve is the same. I did buy a Rainbird off of Amazon. I'm not sure how this little cover comes off here though. This will just pop right off, I think. Let's see. Yeah, it pops off. So just throw that thing back on there. Okay. The fancy little actuator lever. So we got most of these out. There's a small spring in here, so this is not going to fly apart on you. And I got almost all these out. So you don't want to get dirt in this thing, obviously. And if water starts flying back out of here, it's not going to be too fun. Let's see how it goes. I think it'd be leaking by now. Okay, it's getting loose. There's some water coming out. This thing's been leaking anyway, so it's probably been... Okay, there's some water coming out of it. Coming out of the pipes up the hill. And here's the assembly that's out. Diaphragm still in there. So I'm going to put the new diaphragm in there. And hopefully this won't cause a gusher, but let's pull this diaphragm out. You can pull it out by grabbing it here where the hole is. And because it's been in here a long time, it's going to be sort of welded to the to the assembly. At this point, I wonder, this one's kind of feels tough. Should I just leave it in there? Part of me says this valve does work. Do the minimal disruption as possible and leave it in there. So I think I'm not going to bother taking that thing out. I'm just going to put the new top on. So let's check this thing out. Let's see. Wiggle it. How stiff is this diaphragm? It feels really stiff. The new one's really stiff too. So I'm gonna call this good and leave it alone because I don't want to really break anything. And I'm just gonna put the new piece on and call it a day. So let's do that. Here's the new piece. And it goes on like that. Springs on there. Let's see if it goes on fine. Yep, I don't see any problems here. Put these back in and call it a day. Because the only problem with this thing was I had a bad shorted solenoid, as you saw from the ohm readout, and I also had some leaks on the top of this thing, and the bottom is fine. The valve did work under manual control, so I think the diaphragm's fine. I'm not gonna bother taking that old diaphragm off and risking damage. So put the screws back in, don't make them too tight yet. Just snug them up and then tighten them all down. When they're snug, you can then tighten them all down in sequence, like an automotive cylinder head. So let's do that. Okay, that's in. Let's put this one in. Okay, 2 more to go. So that looked pretty clean in there. I wasn't about to rip it all apart, get dirt in there, cause troubles. Let's not have troubles. All right, that's the last screw. I'll keep this new diaphragm on hand in case this thing doesn't work out. Okay, they're all snug. I'm gonna tighten this one up pretty tight. Tighten this one here, tight. Not real tight, it's plastic. But you don't want it leaking. Tighten this one up. Tighten that one up. Don't over tighten it, don't strip them out. Okay, I might have missed a few. I'm just gonna go around now and see if I missed any. They all seem good. That one wasn't. Okay, this one. This one. Okay, I'm gonna go turn on the water supply and see if this leaks. Give me a minute. Okay, they're all tight. And so if you put 24 volts AC in this thing, I think it would open. That's what the Rainbird controller does. Okay, those look good. So now I can put this little top hat back on here. Not that this top hat really matters, but we could put it back on. Makes it easy to turn the valve on and off. Just clicks in there. And are the wires in right or not? Probably not. No, they're not. Let's take it off. The wires go down through there, so they don't go through the top. Let's get that thing in there correct. Like that. Sounds like Kansas City won the football game. Okay, that goes in like that. Now, we can connect these wires up and use wire nuts to the controller and call it a day. You probably want to put tape on these for strain relief when you're done. Just make sure these wires here are even, like that. Just the tops are even. Put on your nut and tweak it, turn it, twerk it until it's good and tight. Not too tight, don't break it. Okay, yeah, it gets pretty tight. That's enough. This one the same way. And if this thing was turned on, I would have some water flowing out of here. Okay. There you go. 2 different nuts too, so people were in here screwing around, huh? Or else the guy ran out. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm gonna go turn the water on and see how it goes. So, this thing on, off. Let's make sure it's off. It's off. Let me go turn the water on. I gotta run through the house and turn on the water in the front of the house. Okay, the water's turned on. Now, I do see some leaking from here. That's no fun. What's leaking here? That little screw's leaking. That leaked on the other one too. Not too fun. That's a purge knob. Okay. Close it. It's not leaking. Okay, rotate this thing about a quarter away and it will turn on. Like that. Now we're on. And I hear water coming out. So it looks good. Okay, the next test is turn it off and turn it on at the sprinkler controller. So I'm going to try that now. I've turned it lightly until it stops. You heard it stop there. Okay, stop it. Okay, now it's off. So now we're going to turn it on at the sprinkler controller. People are screaming over there. Okay, I turned on the water. I turned on the stage for number 2 here. Don't see anything coming out. I wonder if we got control voltage here. Should be 24 volts AC here, I think. Let's see what we got. If anything. AC volts. What do we got? No voltage. So, whatever I told my controller to do, I didn't do it right. Okay, well, I'm going to trust this thing's working. I'm going to trust that I don't know how to program it at the other end, but I think this end is fixed. I'm just going to have to fiddle around now and verify it. But the valve works. You can turn it on. Give it a small little turn here, and it will flow. That's flow rate, that's purge. I know it's flow rate and purge, so it's flowing. That turns it off. All right, I'm gonna go play with the controller and see if I can figure it out. Anyway, this concludes our repair of the Rainbird residential sprinkler valve. Again, to review, we've pulled the old top of the Rainbird off. This part had a shorted solenoid. We didn't use the new diaphragm. We didn't use the body. We just really were after the top part here and the solenoid. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Keep your lawn watered.